Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udwar Jigero, and this is Political Headache. I am here with the man with the experience, Professor Odhiambo Otieno. Odhiambo Otieno, we are going to be talking about the issues of 2027, and we are zeroing in on, Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
A lot of people have called him a watermelon, and you think that he might be president, and we're going to be figuring out the route to Matiang'i to Kalonzo's presidency. The assumption is that Ruto is not going to be president. Is that the assumption? Or should he not be president? What do you think? Ruto
will not lose the 2027 election. The people of Kenya will win. Ruto will not lose the 2027 election, but the people of Kenya will win.
What does that mean?
That means that he may not sit on the chair, but the election will not stop at the ballot. The election will ultimately then stop at the military, in my view, because as at 25th of June 2024, Ruto and his regime fell. It fell, and I want your audience to understand how it fell.
On the 24th of June?
On 25th of June.
25th of June last year?
Last year. It fell. It fell because once Parliament was breached, and these people were promising to march to State House, and the military had to be called in to reinforce the security apparatus at Parliament, and Ruto had then to disband his government and invite an outsider, and this is in the name of Raila Odinga, to his government. That marked the essence of the end of the Kenya Kwanza regime and started the new regime, which is the broad-based government. Those two are different, so much as they have the same figurehead, but you can realize now there's a figurehead and an annex, which is called Raila Odinga. Most decisions that are made today that concern running the country are not absolute. They are very related or relative in terms of decision consensus acquisition, which is made between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So it's not an absolute presidency as it was with Kenya Kwanza being the absolute coalition at the lead. So I want you to understand, and the audience must understand this as well, that being that Ruto's regime fell, since then, whatever has been happening is they've been trying to maintain law and order. But you can see the movement is gaining momentum. Every other day, there is a holiday being called. Initially, the only person who had extra constitutional powers was Raila, who would declare a national holiday on a day where people are going to work, and people would actually...
that is actually something interesting with the that you're bringing forth.
Yes.
That Raila was the only force...
Yes, out of the constitutional confines.
That could bring these mandamanos.
Yes.
Like every other day,
yes.
And it will happen.
And it will happen.
But now he's not doing it, and it is happening.
Yes. And that one must tell you that then there's a shift. That shift has happened from Raila. Raila has lost that power, and now it has moved to people who we don't even know. And this because nobody particularly is calling for this thing.
People we don't even know.
People we don't even know. Do you know anybody who leads these people? Nobody actually knows them, but they are calling for these demonstrations, and they're declaring public holidays.
But let's.
And it's actually more intense than Raila's calls, because Raila's calls it will be up to 12, and then from noon or from about 1, it dissipates and people continue with their work. But now it is the whole day.
No, but you are more on the internet than I am, especially Twitter, because yes. I feel like Twitter is where all these things are cooked. Is it like the Saba? Who called the demonstration?
Do you know? I don't know. It's just a feeling. There's a feeling in the country that is dominating the political conversation and narratives and the political feeling. And people are saying Saba is a holiday. That's it. You don't need to know who is the leader of this.
I am just wondering.
Which means people are in agreement.
What I'm feeling and what I do not understand is that the NIS have very good reasons to believe that there's going to be people are going to swarm into the capital city today, and therefore based on the intelligence, they are talking to the national government and the executive and everybody involved, especially the police, that this is the way forward on how to nip this in the bud. And so if you are saying that you do not know, they should know.
The NIS is an amorphous organization as well. That is, well, many people don't understand how it operates, okay? But can I tell you that the CIA was wrong on the Iraqi question of weapons of mass destruction? It was also wrong on the issue of Libya having weapons of mass destruction. It was also wrong the other day on Iran having nuclear weapons. CIA, which is very respected. What is NIS? NIS can mislead. And I can tell you for sure.
Why would they mislead?
The biggest problem in Ruto's regime is the NIS.
Why?
Especially its head. And I say this because I've sat with some of them. All right? The head of NIS in this question here is Nurdin Haji.
Okay.
Nurdin Haji, remember, was the DPP for Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, who was the then president.
The Director of Public
Prosecutions. He's the person who curated the Kamata Kamata Fridays. If you remember Kamata Kamata Fridays, where people would be arrested on Fridays and they will be kept up to Monday, then they're charged with corruption cases. And most of these people were Ruto's people. Do you remember? It's important to get that context.
Were Ruto's people.
Were Ruto's people.
That were being persecuted and harangued by the then president.
Exactly.
Uhuru Kenyatta.
Exactly. Now, the most powerful people in any regime is always the DPP, the head of military intelligence, NIS, and who else? And perhaps the Chief Justice or something, and the President. But Chief Justice, not really. But these people have absolute power because they're the ones who can charge you. They have what we call the instruments of coercion. Okay? And also, of course, the head of the military. Then we also have the head of the police. They have the instruments of coercion, which means they can compel you to do something. Now, this NIS guy, who was leading the onslaught against Ruto, Ruto comes to power and what does he do?
Poaches him.
He poaches, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Okay? It's either two things were happening here. Uhuru was being fooled by this Nurdin Haji. Okay? Or Nurdin Haji was in cahoots with Ruto to persecute his people and build his political profile. Or Nurdin Haji was a dishonest man in Uhuru's regime. If I am wrong, I don't choose to be right.
There is something wrong. There is noise coming from here. Bro, what is going on with this desk here? Nani? What is his name? Bro? Huh? Kusawa, eh? Yeah, go ahead.
And I was saying, if I'm wrong, it's because I don't choose to be right. Okay? This guy is dishonest in either ways. And why is he dishonest? It cannot be that he was absolute in his approach to either Uhuru or Ruto. He was playing these guys. And because he has so much information, he was then appointed to go and head the NIS. That was the first point of departure. For me, intellectually and politically. Politics is absolute. You don't move with thinking that somebody is there for you.
He was not unhappy with the Nurdin Haji for the things he did, the persecution.
You tell me, because if Nurdin Haji, if Ruto wasn't unhappy with Nurdin Haji for the humiliation of his team members, then he was the one who appointed Nurdin Haji to actually go after his team members to build his political profile. Okay? If that was not the case, I'm saying this, the case is that Uhuru Kenyatta was fooled by Nurdin Haji. Because the Nurdin Haji was not being honest to Uhuru by saying he's going after the Ruto people, and that will then bring their profile down, etc., and they will not be anywhere next to power. But actually, in reality, us who are in political understanding, we look at it and say, look at these guys. If you persecute anybody in politics, you build them because you are increasing their street index.
Yeah.
And street index is very important.
What is a street index in politics?
Street index is your perception of going anti-government and remaining clean, going up or down. Okay, that is it's basically the perception index outside there. So we call it the street index. Like if you can outsmart a government, then your index goes up and up and up. So when Nurdin Haji advised Honorable Kenyatta that let's go after Ruto's people and it will give you some level of whatever profile, you see what has happened? Ruto ended up being the president, and his team, which was persecuted all through, it is the same Nurdin Haji who went to court to withdraw those cases. You remember the multiple withdrawal of cases?
Yes.
It was him who was withdrawing those cases before he was appointed to come to NIS.
DPP.
It was still the DPP, yes.
So he withdrew all
Most of them
en masse, and then and then crossed over.
And then crossed over. Crossed over in quote. I have never trusted in him. I will never trust in him if I was a president. And as somebody who has goodwill for the president, for this president, we said the only problem he has is NIS. He needs to shake up NIS. Okay? Because if he shakes up NIS, he will be able to see clearly. Remember, NIS is the only tool, is the only institution that has the capacity to listen to your private conversations. It has planted people everywhere. If some of your stuff could be NIS.
I suspect one of them is NIS. Especially there is one that is always just switching out of the office.
Yes.
And coming back late.
They are everywhere.
Taking his phone calls outside the office.
They are everywhere. They're in hotels. They're all over. They're in the matachus. They're all over. Okay? So NIS has the capacity to collect data. I do primary insights, what we call primary intelligence.
What is primary intelligence?
Is gathering of primary data, basically, doing in-depth interviews and also just interacting with the key informants. That I do privately, okay? So this fellow, this NIS fellow, is the one who has collapsed Ruto's regime in effect. And he's honest where he is. He knows what I'm saying is true, okay? Or the other thing, the other alternative theory is that he's providing actual data, factual data, and Ruto is not listening.
Yeah.
That could also be a theory. That NIS is actually doing its work, giving the president, because he sits in the National Security Council, and the president refuses to take this advice because it does not just advise. The head of NIS advises and gives recommendations of action points, what to do for you to achieve point A, B, C. Okay? It cannot be that this thing is gaining momentum, right? That all of a sudden, the political establishment then, as it was, the political order, as it was, that Raila had to remain in opposition to stabilize the government, is now overthrown. And now it is a new force that it cannot be dealt with, that we have outside there, that is going to outsmart the president in 2027. It's going to outsmart him. And that's why I call for the resignation of the head of NIS.
But Kina Boniface Mwangi here have been... Are they another ones calling this thing?
Boniface Mwangi is a nobody in this thing. In fact, in any case, he's just bold enough.
He's forcing himself into it.
No. He's just bold enough to go into the tide, okay? Yes, he's one of the people who are considered the front runners in terms of leading the conversation, okay? But he's not the one who calls the shot. In any case, Willy Mutunga calls the shots.
On who?
Chief Justice Emeritus Willy Mutunga calls the shots on these demonstrations in so many ways, I can tell you.
Clearly, not Maraga?
No, not Maraga.
How does Willy Mutunga...
Remember, Willy Mutunga was the ED of Ford Foundation.
What is an ED?
Executive Director. Sorry, yeah. We guys in NGO are stupid. Yeah.
The Ford Foundation that Uhuru was crying for.
No, Uhuru never cried.
Uhuru cried.
No.
These people are bringing a lot of money.
It was not Uhuru, it was Ruto. Just recently, it was Ruto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So remember, it is Willy Mutunga who was the ED for a long time, which means he had...
Before he became Chief Justice. Yes. I remember he was at Ford.
Yes, and remember Ford Foundation, it's one of its core mandates is to finance civic education activities that improve then issues of governance, etc. And there's no way you can improve issues of governance without enlightening the masses. And I've told you before that ignorance is bliss for the government, especially mass ignorance. The more stupid the people are, the more happy the government is. That's why I think there's a popular saying in Swahili that wajinga wakirevuka werevu huwa matatani.
That's very good Swahili.
It's very good, right?
Yeah,
I lived in Tanzania for some time.
I would say those words. To be stuck mid-sentence. I'm so stuck mid-sentence.
Yeah. So
say that Swahili again. The word again.
You say the Wahenga, those guys.
Wahenga are the wise men from Tanzania.
Yeah. From all over. But I think all of them died.
Because so wanasemaje?
Wanasema wajinga wakirevuka.
Wakirevuka. So what does that translate to?
Like if stupid people get enlightened,
yeah,
then bright people or enlightened people are in problems because more people have joined the party. Exactly. So the discussion is going to be it's going to be quite robust. And that's the discussion we're having in Kenya today.
Yeah.
And Ruto must also credit himself that he changed the order. We always say something in politics, that the winning formula is never changed. But Ruto changed the winning formula.
For 2022?
Yes, for 2022. He changed the winning formula.
What was the winning formula?
The winning formula that has always been in Kenya has always been on tribal lines. And it has been very intentional to maintain the political conversation within tribal lines. Because then it is easier to manage. If you move it out of tribal lines, we go into revolutions. And what Ruto did, he brought the class war, if you remember. He was talking about the dynasties versus the hustlers. That's a class war.
It is no longer tribal.
It's no longer tribal. So, which means you've expanded the scope. And
it can work for you and then can turn against you.
It will always work against you.
No, but it worked for him for a moment.
I don't know what you mean by working for him. Because
he became president.
He had been a deputy president, which is a heartbeat away from the president. There's nothing big that Ruto is gaining as a president that he didn't gain by being a deputy president. And I can tell you, Ruto benefited more as a deputy president than as being a president.
How?
In terms of resource without responsibility, portfolios, like he had a far-reaching extent of doing so many things as a DP, minus being the last person that things fell on. Now, you can see, the fellow is stressed and is always angry. Because it is too much. But the other challenge that Ruto has is that he has two groups of people around him. He has the brilliant people who really help him in terms of governance.
The 30 advisors.
I've talked about 30 advisors, the small university. The 30 are useless. There's just a few who are actually brilliant, who he listens to. But Ruto also has a divide of a stupid platoon who hung around him. These guys, they're very brute. They didn't go to school properly. Their job is simply to see things as black and white. And remember, in presidency, you don't need people who see things in black and white. You need people who see things in their gray and who can operate in the gray area. That's why Kibaki governed so well. Kenyatta governed so well. Moi, in his 24 years of misrule, not rule, governed also relatively well. In his 24 years of misrule. Otherwise, he would have been removed. Because remember, there's something...
Are you suggesting that Ruto should go and start a torture chamber?
No. That would be a misrule.
That would be a misrule.
That would be a misrule. I'm talking about a rule. Rule is when there's order.
Yeah.
Misrule is when there's no order. So remember, there's another Swahili saying, which Wahenga again brought up.
The wise men.
Yeah, the wise men. They say that kutawaliwa ni hiari.
Kutawaliwa ni hiari. Hiari is volition, out of your own volition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you being governed is out of your own volition.
Yeah.
Which means you accept the person who is governing. They don't come from nowhere. You're the one who actually gives them the power to govern over you. Okay? So Ruto is forgetting that him changing the conversation in 2022 has brought the discussion to be so robust as he intended it to be. But now, these people are now seeing him for who he truly is.
We are hustlers, are you?
Exactly. Because you're a bourgeois. You're not a proletariat like most of us.
You eat cake, we eat bread.
Exactly. All right? And your wife may be Maria Antoinette, who sees us in the field and the streets and says, why are they demonstrating? And the people are saying, unga, unga. And she says, why not give them cake? There's some cake.
I mean, give them
Yeah. So Ruto is living in a bubble because there's that comes to the presidency as well. Once you are in the leadership positions, I have worked around them and I know how it is. It's a bubble. You're blocked from the reality. That's why
Who is blocking you from the reality?
He doesn't have time to interact with the people. He's busy. He's too busy. The president is too busy. Busy doing what? If you at your level, you are too busy. I can call you and I don't find you.
Yes.
How about the president?
He's very busy. Doing what though? What do you think he's doing?
He's doing a lot of things. He's dealing with matters of national importance. He's dealing with matters of international importance.
He's dealing with Nurdin
Haji. Nurdin Haji, who is misadvising him.
Yeah.
That guy needs to go home. Gachagua was right on that one. Nurdin Haji needs to go home.
Gachagua actually, do you think that Gachagua actually saw him for who he was?
True, factually. He saw him because there's something called political order. You don't distort a political order. If you distort a political order, you have instability. Political stability is the insurance for the market, for the stock exchange. Once you have political instability, the market is like a small child. When you have instability, it throws tantrums, which means the stock exchange, either we have something called a bear run, okay? It's not now bull run. The bull run is when the markets are doing well, okay? So the investments come.
Run.
Yeah. A bear run is when now...
A bear run is like the bear, the animal.
Exactly. So people are withdrawing their investments.
Yeah.
And when there's political instability, you end up having bear runs. And you're about to witness that.
Yeah.
Okay? We saw it in America when President Trump brought in political instability by trying to introduce tariffs. Right now, Americans are suffering. They're not having common grocery on the shelves of the supermarkets, and if they're there, the prices have gone up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of disorder around Nuruddin Haji and his advices towards the president, and I can tell you he's not doing a good job because he's not a honest man.
What is his expertise?
He's a trained advocate, but remember...
He's a trained advocate?
Yeah, he's a trained advocate.
So he's not from the police?
No, he's not from the police. He's a trained advocate, but remember...
Is he not supposed to be from the police?
No, the National Intelligence Service is not an extension of the police.
Yeah, but
initially...
you should be coming from intelligence background.
Of course, there's nothing about... There's a college, by the way. There's a National Intelligence...
Did you go there?
Of course.
Who went there?
Nuruddin Haji went there.
So he went there?
Yes, of course.
So he's got the expertise to run
his background is actually NIS, right? First, how did Nuruddin Haji come to political things?
Yeah, because somebody also has to...
Nuruddin Haji was part of the YK...
You know the dummy thing that I always write?
Yeah.
The need for dummies. I think we should write a Nuruddin for dummies.
Yeah.
And understand where he's coming from, who he was.
Yeah, Nuruddin Haji came from the YK 92 group, Youth for Kanu 92. He was part... No, true. I wish I would add my tablet. I would have shown you.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. Mm-hmm. It's just interesting.
Very right.
How they have all come around.
Yes. It's just the same crew. Same crew, nothing else.
So what are you telling Ruto? This is my friend from 1992. So what are you telling him?
What I'm telling him is that friends are not good around power.
Friends are not good around power.
No, they're not good around power because
explain.
They will never tell you the truth. Let me give an example with Raila Odinga.
Yeah.
Raila Odinga has friends, and that has blocked him from ascending to power. Because Raila Odinga works with his friends. Okay?
Friends from that school in Germany? Or
if you are not with Raila Odinga in 1982.
Yeah.
Okay?
When the coup happened.
If you're not with Raila Odinga in the quest for the second liberation.
1992,
that's Sabasaba.
Then Sabasaba.
1992. Sabasaba, party politics, or the second liberation thing. If you're not with Raila Odinga in 1997, when he went first for the presidency after the corporation or something, or I think shortly after then he went in the corporation, then Raila Odinga does not recognize you as somebody important. If you look at the average age of MPs and leaders from Luo Nyanza, the average age is 65. But if you look at the average age of leaders in Ruto's circle, it's 38. That tells you something.
What does it say?
That Raila is moving with his friends. Okay? And those friends are the ones who have denied him the chance because they can't give him correct counsel. Why? They are preserving him. Your friends will never kill you, they will preserve you. Okay? And they're preserving him because he is their food. So they don't eat him at once. They eat him kidogo kidogo until the next election. And I can tell you today that in 2027, Raila is going to contest for presidency. He'll bolt out of government next year, around September. Raila will bolt out of government next year, 2026, about September, latest. There will be signs, mutaona, even if it doesn't declare, but you'll see signs. His experts who he sent to government, some of them will leave, some of them won't. I can tell you some who won't. One day will live with him.
One day will live with him?
Yes, one day will live with him.
And the guy at the central bank?
Never.
Yeah?
Mbadi Ngongo can never leave government. You know what treasury is, man.
I think never leaves a cow.
Can never leave. He'll stick there.
Okay.
So Raila will leave because his friends want him to be there. If he's not there, then they can't win. Do you get the math?
They can't win. They can't be endorsed by Raila. If Raila is out of the picture,
Raila can still endorse them, but the people will easily rebel against Raila. If he's not contesting, they will easily go for their choices. Because remember, for the last 20 years, people have been voting Raila's choices because they are going with the person who is going to be, is foot soldiers, so to speak. Okay?
Yeah.
So Raila will bolt out next year. And I'm saying this because these friends around him know that this is our food. So Raila is the food of the people. Aduma, for example, will tell you that Raila ni tam ya wananchi. He's very sweet. The people eat him small, and my friend Nyamuri tells me that.
Small.
Yeah, so once you understand this concept that friendship is bad around power, then you'll understand what Ruto is trying to do is what is stagnating him, because he has so many friends around him who are preserving him for themselves. Why are they not telling Ruto the truth? It's because right now, the government does not bring goods from anywhere, does not sell anything. The government only collects taxes, which means there's free money. So these guys are eating around Ruto. And they're afraid to tell him the truth, because they tell him they'll be stopped from eating. So they must continue telling the king the lies. They're called the court jesters. Okay?
The court gestures.
Yeah, they have to continue telling the king. They have to sing for the king. They have to tell the king poems. You know?
The enemy is like 200 meters, but they will say,
Yeah,
the palace is well guarded.
Those are your fans. The ones you are hearing making noise outside. They are so happy that yesterday you brought fertilizers and their farms have, in less than 24 hours, have produced. Hail, Holy King. These people are happy. These are your people. But in reality, they know the king is naked. The concept of saints and sinners around the king. One day we'll talk about it, okay? But the truth is, friends are around Ruto, they're not helping him, and they're giving way to somebody called Kalonzo, Raila, and Ruto, politics of 2027, which I conclude by saying that this formation...
So contextualize it for me.
Yes, this formation...
Because we have Raila bolting out next year.
Yes, Raila's bolting out next year.
Okay. And then we have Kalonzo Musyoka, we have Matiang'i, we have Maraga, we have Martha Karua, we have His Highness
His Highness Gachagua. Gachagua is a good guy. It's just not properly mentored. You see those shamba boys.
Have you ever swam downstream? It is such a beautiful swim.
Is it?
Because you don't have to flap. And imagine swimming downstream in milk, and then somebody just telling you at a junction or a corner, and just suddenly just gets you by the arm and throws you out.
It is painful.
It is very painful, and
Yeah.
I think we should sometimes understand the Gachagua for the pain that is going through.
Yeah, it's painful. Absolutely. In fact, I understand.
So
Gachagua.
contextualize it for me.
So let me tell you.
And I want to bring all these parties.
Yeah.
And how Kalonzo comes on top.
Correct.
Yes.
You're bringing me to my waters.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, we are having 3 formations in 2027. And I want you to listen very carefully.
Okay.
Because what I want to say here is prophetic.
You've been very prophetic, my brother. I'm waiting for all of them to come to an end.
And Jagero,
Yeah.
we will be here again in 2027.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing this again. And you'll agree with me on what I said. And I would like you on that day to play this clip.
Go ahead.
1, in 2027, we're going to have 3 formations.
Okay.
Raila will easily support Ruto by giving Ruto a Luo deputy president.
Okay.
But that still will not make Ruto president. Why? Voting in this country is about numbers. It is nothing but numbers.
Sheer amount of numbers.
In 2022, if voting in this country was anything else, or if voting did not amount to anything, Raila will be president today. It was a gap of 200,000 votes, 200,000, which is basically 4 constituencies in Nyanza, that will determine the presidency. And that could easily be cooked, but it wasn't. So for people to turn out in large numbers in 2027 to vote, Raila must contest. Raila must part from Ruto. It is a strategy that they are employing. And if they don't employ it, they are fools. That
Raila comes out and vies.
Correct.
For people to come out and vote.
That's number 1.
For who to come out and vote?
Now listen to me very carefully.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Listen to me very carefully on this one. That Ruto is the incumbent. Of course, incumbents cannot leave power easily. They have to fight it. Okay? Because it is theirs to lose. They're already in power. They're not contesting. It's just they're the ones to lose the power.
State machinery.
state machine, etc. They have the logistical advantage, okay? So, and they have the instruments of coercion, they have the instruments of arbitration, that is the judiciary, etc. They're all under him in a way, okay? So, Ruto cannot win 50+1 in 2027. Kalonzo and the united opposition, or whoever the candidate will be, can also not win 2027 election by 50+1. The same to Raila.
Can you first of all lay down the assumptions of how of the percentages?
Good.
Yeah.
So look at the voting patterns in the country.
Okay.
It's always that any one time that 2 of the 3 major tribes swing on one side, they determine who becomes the president. And that is always Luo, Kikuyu, Kalenjin. 2022, it was Luo and it was Kikuyu and Kalenjin. Also Luo and Kikuyus. That is why it was that razor thin difference. Okay? But the division was not significant because we needed at least 1 million votes from, which we did get actually. 2022 was lost in Luo land because over 700,000 people didn't turn up to vote.
700,000?
Yeah.
Almost 1 million?
Yes, I was in the secretariat. So I'm talking about what we did, not what we are thinking happened.
So the number of votes in Luo land was down by 700,000?
Yes, 700,000 people did not turn up to vote because of it's something called apathy. It was occasioned by things such as mishandling of nominations, which is a big issue in Raila's backyard. And revolutionaries, anyway, never know how to handle their backyards. Okay? So, we are going to have 3 people, 3 formations, who are going for the presidency. And Ruto knows that this election in 2027 must go to a second round.
You are talking about 2027 without... You are talking about 3 people, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and William Ruto.
Yeah.
Where is Matiang'i? Where is Maraga? Where is Gachagua?
So let me explain to you why the the best fit candidate for the united opposition is Kalonzo and not any of those people.
Oh, UDA. So you are saying that...
I'm saying...
No, not UDA, the DCP.
Not DCP, the united opposition.
United opposition.
DCP is a part.
You are assuming that they are going to... the opposition is going to come together.
They are together.
But Martha Karua is not in the camp of DCP of Gachagua.
Let's baseline Martha Karua on 2022, and then extrapolate that to 2027.
Okay.
She's of no effect because even in her own polling station, she didn't win. In 2022, in her own polling station, she didn't win.
There is a reason for that, though.
The reason is?
The reason is that...
if you can't mobilize people in your...
the thing is, it was a tribal inclination and all the votes were going to Uhuru. So how could he win?
In 2022.
All the votes were going to UDA.
Do you know Raila got about 1 million votes in Kikuyu-land in 2022? But in Martha's own polling station, Raila lost. What am I trying to tell you? Martha has no capacity to mobilize. She has no political capital.
Tell me about.
She's like those statues.
Tell me about. Tell me about.
She's like those statues you see in Moi Avenue.
Tell me about Martha Karua. Martha Karua is supposed to have a clout. She doesn't have a clout.
She doesn't have a clout. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't have the capacity to mobilize. She does not excite. She's not exciting. Okay? She's a relic from the past. She's from the ancient. Yes. She's from the ancient times.
If you say that she's from the ancient times, then what does that make Raila Odinga then?
Raila Odinga is a legend. You know, legends are still effective even past their time. People still talk about them in a revering manner.
Is there any time in the history of this country that Martha Karua had an effect? Because I look back and I don't see. Because
there was.
If you look at the lady from Cumberland, what was her name? Gilu. Charity Gilu had a lot of cloth. Remember?
Which cloth?
Free from her place, at least.
Plastic cloth.
From her place, from Cumberland.
Plastic cloth, which was developed by the Moi regime, which sponsored each and every presidential candidate. In 1997, 1998, I believe that's what you're talking about. Masani Angilu. That's the campaign of 1997 presidency, if I'm not wrong. The government sponsored each and every of the presidential candidates, including Orengo and Raila. Everybody received money, and they were told, don't back down. Campaign till the ballot. That's why even Matiba was campaigning till the ballot. And that's why Moi won. Matiba campaigned.
Matiba and the other.
Kibaki campaigned. Okay, so Kikuyu already had 2 candidates who split the vote. Okay, remember, if you look at 1997 calculations, the presidential elections, the opposition had more votes than the president. That is why, for the opposition to win, they must be united.
What is Ruto thinking about that going to 2027?
Thank you. Now, I like the way you're bringing it because I want to explain to you.
The playbook still works.
It still works, and it has to work.
Okay, go ahead.
All right? So you asked me, why is it that Kalonzo is going to be the candidate in my head and not any other person? So there's the GEMA philosophy.
Yes.
The GEMA philosophy says it is GEMA plus 1. GEMA here meaning Gikuyu, Embu, Meru, Akamba plus any other tribe.
GEMA includes Akambas.
Of course, they're cousins. Why do you think the cousin thing is coming about?
Wait, can you check for us our camera if you're still recording? How many minutes do we have? Ujamas analala kwa kazi. Hebu angalia. Hebu angalia hii. How many minutes? Very good. Yes, go ahead.
So, the GEMA plus 1 philosophy is a very powerful philosophy. And that's what I was telling you. Anytime 2 of the 3 tribes switch, they make the presidency. And remember, the denominator in this arithmetic has been Kikuyu.
Let's go back to GEMA again. Gikuyu,
Embu, Meru, Akamba. Plus 1.
Who is this one?
So plus 1 is any other tribe.
What they can bring.
So once these guys are together, once GEMA is together.
When is the last time GEMA was together?
GEMA has always been together.
No, come on.
Okay, tell me when GEMA has never been together.
Yeah.
Since when?
Kambas have always been on the side of Raila. What are these guys talking about?
Since when?
Yo, Kalonzo has always been on this other side, bro.
Okay, let's go to the baseline. Let's have a baseline. 207. Did Raila lose or he won the election? I'm asking you, did Raila win 207 or he lost it?
2007, I think he won.
He won, right?
Yeah.
But after, remember there was a 1 million vote, 1 point something million vote, which was not with Raila in 207. Do you remember? When ODM Kenya split. Hello?
Yeah.
Kalonzo went to the votes. And once Kibaki got whatever he got, Kalonzo became the stabilizing factor. Are we still together?
I'm clearly not remembering this.
You're not remembering?
Yeah.
How did Kalonzo become the deputy president, the vice president then?
I remember him. Because he delivered some votes.
So he stabilized. He brought the legitimacy aspect to Kibaki by giving him the Kamba vote. If the Kamba vote swung to Raila's side, Kibaki would not have been the president.
Yeah, I get it.
You get it?
Yeah, okay.
If you want to understand that politics of then, you must base it post-election and not pre-election. Because winning an election is not just the announcement. It's also how do you establish a government. You establish a government if you have the popular will, which is called legitimacy, behind you. Okay? And so, basing on that fact, GEMA plus 1.
Okay.
So which means the GEMA, who do they need?
Kalonzo.
No. Kalonzo is part of the GEMA.
Plus 1?
Yes.
Plus 1. Cost?
Okay, let's divide further.
Okay.
So we have the swing areas in this country. The swing areas here are those places which do not traditionally vote bloc to one person. Luya land. Very divided. Okay? So it's a swing area.
Raila is always getting 60%?
He's always getting about 60-40 there, or sometimes even 70.
Yeah.
It's a swing area. Okay? Yeah. And that's why Raila has been very stubborn because he has Luo and Luya. Almost packed.
Yeah.
But it's a swing vote. When Ruto organized Luya land in 2022, you saw.
What did Raila get in Luya land in 2022? What did Ruto get?
Ruto got quite a good amount. I can't recall the exact figure. Yeah, but Bungoma actually went to Ruto.
Really?
So now.
So plus 1.
Plus 1.
Okay.
Now they want to get plus 1.
Don't lean on the glass.
They want to get plus 1. Now that's where the rubber meets the road.
They won't get plus 1.
They want to get plus 1.
Okay.
Because the swing areas are Kambaland, which they already have, Luya land, which they're already seducing, Coast, which is traditionally voting ODM. Okay? So Dharan, I want you to segment that and put it aside. Of these people, there are two major players in GEMA. It's the Gikuyu and the Kamba. Of course, Gachagua is not going to contest for the presidency. Even he knows he cannot contest for the presidency. Like that's dead on arrival. Okay, so it has to start from somewhere. Where does it start? Who amongst these other candidates brings the value of numbers to the GEMA community in terms of presidential candidate? There's no Kisii there. Wachana na Kisii bado. Here is just GEMA, Meru, Embu, Gikuyu, and Akamba.
So what's the question?
Which of these components of GEMA then brings the vote value to the GEMA community in terms of presidential candidate?
See the Gikuyu.
Gikuyu, I've already told you, Gachagua is not contesting. And there's a power vacuum there. That's why he's the one who is shouting himself hoarse to be the kingpin.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So the other alternative is Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
Why would Kikuyus be easy with Kalonzo Musyoka?
Manipulation?
I like your brilliance. Because Kalonzo can be swayed.
A watermelon.
Is a watermelon, exactly.
Yeah.
Kalonzo is somebody you can sit down and talk to. He's somebody who can
understand you.
And understand
and
you.
Agree.
And agree. He's
okay.
agreeable.
He's agreeable.
Kalonzo has mastered the art of politics, which is agreeability. Don't absolutely say no. Say, I'm going to think about it. Okay? So Kalonzo then becomes the candidate for the GEMA community in 2027. Put that aside.
Okay.
Now let's...
Locked.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Raila.
Okay.
Why must Raila contest in 2027? I started by explaining that if Raila does not contest, this race is decided. Kalonzo is the president.
The Luos will vote for Kalonzo.
Do you think Luos are uneasy with Kalonzo?
They are not. They have no problem with him.
Do you think there's any other community which is uneasy with Kalonzo?
No. He's at some sweet spot.
What is
a
the
very sweet spot.
And what is the mantra in the country? Anything but Ruto.
No.
Anything but Ruto.
Well, will you choose Kalonzo over Ruto?
Yes. I always like the way you do this thing with your guys. Because it is right here. So, any other spot in the country is easy with Kalonzo because, yes, he's not a change maker, he's not a radical person, but he understands the system, he understands the people, he understands how people live. He's been around since 1970s. This is somebody who understands how the government operates. Even the government operatives are comfortable with him, but the government ranks are uncomfortable with Gachagua.
He's too radical.
He's too radical. Okay?
Yeah, this guy is gonna put
the same fear that they had something called Raila phobia is now Gachagua phobia amongst government operatives. And I can tell you in 2022, I told you that this DPP, this NIS guy, the former Interior Security PS, Dr. Karanja Kibicho, and the former NIS chief, I'm forgetting his name, were in cahoots to ensure that Raila did not get the presidency because Raila is too radical. He was going to move them. Okay? But with Ruto, they're surviving. They're somehow there.
Where are they?
They're somewhere. They're there. Nobody has taken them to court. In fact, in any case, cases that were in court are being withdrawn.
Against Kibicho?
Kibicho is one criminal who should be in prison, the same as Matiang'i. You know why I said that here last time. These two guys should be in prison. They've stolen so much, and they've done so many atrocities. Okay? But why are they safe? Because these things are negotiated. Okay? So who gives them this chance? Is it Raila? No. Is it Gachagua? No. Then who gives them the chance? It is Kalonzo. Kalonzo is very lethal because of his indecisiveness, his watermelonness makes him very lethal candidate in 2027. Now Raila has to contest.
He's the Moi when Jonjo was looking around.
Exactly. He's the Moi. He's the passing cloud.
He's the teacher.
He's the one.
No problem.
He's the one that you cannot imagine that can do anything bad.
Why haven't we learned from that?
Exactly.
Why haven't we learned from that? Why do we think that Kalonzo is not gonna be another Moi?
No, we don't know until when he's there. So understanding that Kalonzo is having that power with the GEMA community, we said we have that aside.
Yes.
Now we understand why Raila then must contest in 2027. Okay. And I told you that Raila must contest because if he doesn't contest, Ruto is losing.
Okay.
Point number one. Point number two.
Okay. So
this is deep science.
Let's back up. Let's back up a little bit.
Good.
Let's back up a little. Let's My people lies that one.
No, it's okay. I can. I love water.
And mara ni utaka Mungu nyakazani. That's that one. Let me check what these people are saying on the internet.
Just even call is okay. My throat is running dry. Jagira ameniweka hapa naongea ma. Hey. Thank you. All right. So, Raila must contest in 2027.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't contest, Ruto is losing. Why? They must go as a front, but as a strategy purpose, they must divide. It's called divide and conquer. Now, this is not where one person divides to conquer. This is where two people are dividing so that they conquer. So, wanaenda njia panda, so that they meet. At which point, they're going to meet at the point of the rerun. Okay?
Oh, okay. So, how does the numbers look? How do the numbers look now?
I'm coming to the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm still analyzing. These people have traditional voting blocks.
You're on Raila.
Yes, these people have traditional voting blocks. Raila has a solid 4 to 5 million people who vote for him. That if you withdraw all the support, he has about 4 to 5 million yake that he walks around with. He only needs about...
Are you saying...
Yeah. Actually, 3 to 4, not 4 to 5. 3 to 4, yeah.
Because my thinking was, Raila does not run, but he supports Ruto. My thinking was that he's going to hand over his voters to Ruto.
Voters
are you claiming that that's going to happen?
Raila must run.
No, I'm asking you. If he does not run and he tells the electorate, Nyanza and et al., that I want you, this is the guy that I'm giving my vote, they're not going to give him, or they're going to...
They're going to rebel. They're going to rebel in the morning, and Kalonzo will become president very early.
Oh, they're going to rebel?
They're going to rebel thoroughly. Remember, Raila has something called dogma.
Yeah.
The belief that he's the best, even if he doesn't win. The belief that when he contests, he still just has to be given. He has that traditional voting block.
Why can't we see through the water and say, dude,
exactly.
Even if you run, we are not giving it to you?
No, they can't, because politics doesn't operate like that. Your traditional base works with you.
Okay.
Because when the conversation shifts today and Raila is in the streets and he starts saying, we are going for the government, these people will be with him once more. Because they're like sheep, they're like cows. You tell them left, and you hear them say left, left, right, right, okay? So once you understand that, then if Raila doesn't contest, it means Ruto loses, because then Raila is part of the Ruto formation, and if they go as such, then they lose as such in the first round.
Okay.
But remember, this election is having 2 steps, and actually 3. But I'm adding the 4th one today. There's a military takeover. Okay? The 3 are always the first round, second round, then the judiciary, because there's always a presidential petition. Okay, which is also democracy.
Okay, so then what are the percentages between the 3 of them?
I'm giving you.
Yes.
I want you first to understand the context. Then we go into the numbers.
Yes.
Okay? So now, Raila contests so that he gets his base and goes with that base to Ruto and sits in government na matako mbili. Right now, amekaa kwa serikali na matako moja. Tako moja, like this. All right? Because he's been invited to government. Whatever he wants, he has to consult. But in 2027, if that happens, or as it happens, he will be firmly seated in government and can actually make moves, like he did in 2008. Then Ruto must also contest, because he's the incumbent. You cannot just leave power unless he's a madman. Power is sweet. It's like it's a little bit like God, kidogo, God, small g. Yeah, it's very sweet. There are so many things that you call things to life. You say, let there be light, and there's light. Say, let there be darkness, and there's darkness. Okay? So he must contest, of course. So how are the numbers looking like? Ruto will come home, Kalonzo, the United Opposition, will come home with 29 point something %. My estimation, okay?
Okay.
I could be wrong, and I said, if I'm wrong, it's because I didn't choose to be right, okay? Then number 2, who will follow Kalonzo? Is Raila. At 28.5 or 28. 0.5 deviance, okay? Number 3 will be Ruto.
Okay.
Okay? Number 3 will be Ruto with 26 or 23 or somewhere, whatever number he'll get. Okay? Now, that is when politics starts. Before then, there's no politics. That's when politics now starts. There's somebody called Francis Imbuga. He wrote something called Betrayal in the City. I want you to go and take a read at Betrayal in the City. Thoroughly. Read it once, read it twice, read it thrice. Because it's going to apply in 2027 after the first round.
Betrayal in the City.
Remember why am I telling you that Kalonzo is going to get 29 and this one, this Raila guy 28 and this Ruto guy 23 or 26 thereabout? It's because GEMA has no +1 that is solid for them to win the election in 2027.
Okay.
Raila has lost his base, which is Kamba, which has now gone back to GEMA.
Okay.
Raila has also lost his swing vote, which is
Coast or Luya.
Luya.
Okay.
Coast can be seduced. Okay? And Coast can play a very big impact in 2027 when Joho is nominated as the deputy president. For who? For Ruto. So I suspect Ruto and Joho could be on one ticket in 2027. It's a possibility. As a strategy, remember. Because when they go to the second round, who will become the substantive? Because remember, once you go for the first round, you don't change the vice president or the deputy president nominee. You don't.
You don't change?
You don't change. You go with him. So if Raila is the only person who can join Ruto in 2027. But
in the second round?
In the second round.
So his voters will now agree?
Now his voters are chaos.
But that's why I'm saying then what's the point of him going fast?
Because if he doesn't go fast, then apathy will be the determinant of 2027 elections.
Voter apathy.
Voter apathy.
This year 20 could vote.
Yeah. People just say, Raila's not contesting. Fuck it, we're not going.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
So he must run so that the people can be jolted in the dawn.
Exactly.
To go and vote.
Exactly. So that they have an object of aggression. That it is those Kalonzo guys or those DCP guys that we don't want to be next to power.
Okay.
And Raila is very good at rallying emotions. Okay? So this is high level politics, my brother. It's going to happen.
Okay.
I want you to believe, just the same way we believe in Jesus, that this is the way it's going to happen because the numbers are right there.
There is a guy who is coming here next week that we're talking about Jesus, and I'm going to ask him when Jesus is coming back.
Please do. Yeah. So then that is where politics starts. And I told you, read Francis Mbuga's book.
Betrayal in the City.
Because the United Opposition...
Next time we are going to talk about probably the Betrayal in the City.
Yeah, we can go through it. So, United Opposition will see fire.
United Opposition
will see fire. Because here, there are two possibilities. There is a 5.7 million voter surge in 2027. In
the second round?
No, from the onset. There's 5.7 million voter surge.
Surge. From the
Kufurika.
Oh, wale majama wa Gen Z.
Correct. Remember, they will not go out to vote in the first round.
Why?
Oh, they don't go out to vote. They never vote.
So why?
Do you live with a Gen Z in your house?
They're going to vote.
They're not going to vote.
They're going to vote.
I swear by the Bible. If you have a Bible, you bring. I can swear.
Every Gen Z that I've spoken to says they're going to vote.
I can swear by the Bible again that in the first round they will not. But in the second round they will. And I'm telling you, politics in 2027 is at the second round.
If you are saying that they're not going to take, if you're saying that they're not going to vote in the first round,
yes,
then something crops up in my head.
Yes,
are they going to take voter cards?
Do you know there's a law being worked on right now that changes the voting regime? Are you aware that now you're not going to need a voter's card? Once you have an ID, you are an eligible voter. Are you aware?
Who's doing that?
I think it's by Moses Kajwang or somebody. One of them.
It's a bill.
It's a bill in parliament. What do you need voter's card?
How does it happen?
In which country across the world do we go for voter's card? Once you have ID, you are eligible to vote. You are 18.
That is dangerous.
Exactly.
That is really dangerous.
Exactly.
Because then what? The IDs, where are they coming from? Where are they?
Do you know that we are now registering Somalis en masse?
And
The election is absolute.
Who is sponsoring?
In election,
who is sponsoring the ID thing?
Ruto said it that hey, ID hakuna verification, patia mtu ID. Once you're a Kenyan, you're declared
Yes,
Kenyan.
I know,
patia
but
mtu
who is behind the bill that if you have an ID, you are a voter?
Politics is an absolute game. There's no number 2. There's number 1. If the siri ni numbers, sindio. So we get the IDs. We want the IDs, we get the IDs. That's it. We have the numbers, okay? And Raila must contest so that these numbers turn up to vote in the second round thoroughly. And I'm telling you, in the second round, that's where politics is. Why? United Opposition will split. Because there's some people who have been out of power for 15 years. Do you know them?
They are small tribes.
Kalonzo has been out of power for 15 years. If he's told to come and be the prime minister, do you think he's going to leave it? Because we're going for a referendum in 2029.
What referendum for what?
Once Raila exits power, because he's exiting in 2027, once he exits power, that is the last election he's being very active in. Otherwise, age has caught up with him. Once he exits power, there's a question that Kenyans must now think of. That every other time, governments have become infamous. It's Raila who has always come to save them. In 2024, we saw that governments can become very infamous very fast, and without Raila, what happens? That question we must now ask, because Raila is now no more past 2027. So then we must move to swing into a parliamentary system where we have a president and we have a prime minister, an executive prime minister, who is elected by coalition, so the most popular coalition in parliament. So that in case the government is unpopular or is infamous in its second, third year, then parliament can decide to switch the prime minister. Are you understanding that calculation?
Yeah.
It is necessary for this country not to burn. But if we are infatuated with the presidential powers and we leave an imperial presidency, then we are going to have this country burn in 2032, thoroughly beyond measure. But even before we are there, let's deal first and complete with this second round of elections.
Yeah.
In this second round, there's going to be a switch, a shake-up, because Kalonzo has been out for 15 years. He cannot afford another 5 years out of power. He has to be in power. Kambas will never forgive him for being out of power. Kikuyus are also not joking. They want back into this power arrangement thing. So it's going to be race against time on who is going to negotiate with the Raila-Ruto axis. It could also happen, surprisingly, that Ruto joins hands with Kalonzo and they form a government. Anything can happen, and Raila becomes the victim.
Why would he leave GEMA and he knows that he's got a very straight
Kalonzo has his GEMA part is his that he has in his pocket that he walks with.
Okay.
It does not rely so much on the cousins. It is Gikuyu, Embu, and Meru who rely on the cousin thing. Much so, okay? But Akamba do not really rely, because them they are almost independent, autonomous.
But why would he cross and he's the number one?
Because once you've lost the first round, we are going into the second round. The people, they always say the ones with the 2 highest figures, then go for a rerun. Okay? The first 2 go for a rerun.
That is Kalonzo and Raila.
Kalonzo and Raila. What happens? Can Raila say, I'm not contesting? Have we seen him say that he's not contesting before?
No.
We've seen Kwenda Uko. We've seen Raila saying he's not contesting in 2022. Omera, you didn't see it.
He's not contesting again.
Raila said in 2022 in the rerun that he's not contesting.
So he's going to leave it.
He did it in 2017.
So he's number 2. Kalonzo is number 1.
He did it in 2017.
So he's number 2. Kalonzo is number 1, and he's saying that he's not going to second round.
He's going to throw his weight behind Ruto.
But what does the constitution say? It's number one, number two.
Now we swing to something else, pandemonium. And that's what I was telling you. This pandemonium leaves us in the hands of the military.
But it will be so careless and reckless of him to do that.
That is one scenario. Scenario 2 is that Ruto becomes number 2, Kalonzo is number 1. In either way, Ruto is not becoming number 1. Unless he cooks it. Yes, he can cook. He can cook the results, and because it's not an absolute win, he has just cooked for a rerun. So he becomes number 2. Or he becomes number, whatever. Okay? And Raila will agree that, okay, sawa, cook number 2. Raila is very relative. He is somebody who loves negotiations. He'll negotiate and he'll be given whatever he's given, I don't know. Something good, yeah? And he'll accept. And Ruto becomes number 2. And so, what happens? The united opposition, plop. Gen Zs won't accept seeing another Ruto presidency in 2027.
Yeah, but let's stay the course and say that Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka goes to the ballot. What happens?
Raila will throw his weight behind who? Behind Ruto. He's the most popular candidate after the two. So he swings his vote behind who? Behind Ruto. What happens with the united opposition? It must split. Because yes, you're number 1 at round 1, but in round 2, things go haywire. In AUC elections, round 1, Raila won. Round 2, round 3 and 4, mpaka round 19. It was bang, bang, bang.
We're just about to tell you about that.
It was bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 up to round 19.
So GEMA splits how?
GEMA splits. Akamba join the government. And they go and support who?
They
support
join the
Ruto.
government and
yes.
yet they're number 1.
What do you mean? Number 1 at round 1 is not absolute.
Come on.
It is 29%
we are touching
of
this
the normal of the votes, total votes Ghana.
Tumeguza hiki tu.
Meguza. Now, who is going to support you? Is Ruto going to support Kalonzo? I'm asking you, is Ruto going to support Kalonzo? Yes, Kalonzo is number 1. But is Ruto going to support him?
Can he support him?
He cannot. He cannot, except for his survival. And that means Raila has left him. Raila ni mtu wa drama. Raila can leave in the last minute. So Raila can go and switch and join Kalonzo. But can Raila and Gachagua sit in the same group?
Raila and Gachagua? I think Gachagua has learned his lessons. And in any case, what is he? Who is he?
Hey.
No. Who is he at the point of? No. Let's just be honest.
You know, I love you for one thing. You're not a naive person.
Kalonzo has become president.
He has not become yet.
Who is the deputy?
Kalonzo has not become yet the president at this moment. He's become the winner of round 1.
Yeah.
The winner of round 1 is the president.
And then Raila crosses over to Kalonzo.
That is a possibility. And if Raila crosses over to Kalonzo, what happens? Game shot. Kalonzo becomes the president. And that's why I told you, that's why Kalonzo would easily become a president in 2027. With Raila as the determinant. He supports Ruto, correct. He supports Nani, correct. Either way. But I find Raila more inclined to Ruto.
Yeah, because he doesn't like the other camp.
He doesn't like
Gachagua. And Gachagua is the architect of the GEMA.
Exactly. He doesn't like Gachagua.
Is he the architect?
He is, for now. He is.
I think he's the architect. He's the one bringing all these people together.
And also...
And so why do you think Martha Karua is not agreeing?
Forget about Martha. Talk about Uhuru.
Why is Uhuru?
He's in GEMA.
He's in GEMA?
Of course. Remember, Uhuru is very easy with Kalonzo.
Yeah.
He's also very easy with not Gachagua, the other one.
Even Gachagua is okay with it. He's okay with Gachagua. Gachagua does not have a problem.
Kikuyus are very interesting. They are very national in their way of doing their things at home. They talk about their issues at night when the world is sleeping. And
that's what Gachagua kept saying, and you guys were...
Of course, and I will repeat to you, they talk about their issues at night. And like us, we don't talk about our issues at night. Us, we talk about our issues during the day. Boop, 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 tip him. Them, they are in the night. And Gachagua said, si mimi naongea, kuna watu wengi wanaongea nyuma yangu. Na nimetumwa. He's a poster boy for the GEMA community. He's not even a leader, by the way. He's a poster boy for the GEMA community. So, that said, be sure that Raila is a swing and he could swing to anybody. And if he swings, and my estimation is that, of course, Raila has betrayed people before. He betrayed Nyachai before in 2002. And he has betrayed very many other people before. I won't be surprised if Raila joins Kalonzo, the GEMA group, because politics is about interests, okay? But I'm looking at Raila joining Ruto, once again, and sitting in government, na matakombili, as I said, okay? When this comes to play, what happens? Gen Zs refuse. They go to the street and say they cannot afford another year or another term of Ruto and Raila.
But they lost.
The Gen Zs lost, yeah?
Yeah.
But they won't accept.
Unless they're going to feel that this thing has been cooked.
Can it be cooked?
Yes.
Thank you.
And so I would not say that they're going to go into the streets.
And I'm telling you they will go into the streets. Why? The momentum is building. Today we are with you here doing this podcast. Outside here, policemen are shooting all over. The momentum is building. Just last week we were in the street. People are being murdered. These guys they don't even care. They're just in the streets. They've come to a level where they are numb to pain. Now, when a man is numb to pain, remember, pain is what helps the brain to remember that we need to self-preserve. But now men are numb to pain. They're just saying, kill us, we are coming more. So
and alpha is also on the way.
And alpha is also on the way. What happens?
So I'm thinking that in 2027 we are going to be having also alphas.
So we are going to, exactly, we could have a few of alphas with us, yeah? June 2026.
And then there are also millennials that are very close to the Gen Z.
Just wait.
So they're actually three.
Just wait. June 25th, 2026, they're again in the streets for memorial of June 25th, 2024.
Yeah.
June 2027, 25th, 1 month to the election, they're again in the street. That momentum is dangerous. And there's only one way for Ruto to disintegrate that momentum.
Yeah.
Is by joining the Gen Zs.
How does he join?
Easy.
How does he join?
Let him pull a Magufuli. Easy.
Do what?
Dismiss his people. Act. These guys are still for him. Right now, they're still going back to their houses and they're coming back after 1 year. They're still for him. The lifeline of a revolution starts with people saying an issue, then it goes to anti-regime. When it goes to anti-regime, the regime has to come out. Because people then will not go back to the house. You won't tell them about coups. You won't. Sri Lanka, just the other day, people marched to State House. And that guy ran away. In another country, one of the Asian countries again, a lady was the president there.
Yeah, even Korea, South Korea. You saw South Korea was also very...
No, South Korea still operated within the constitution.
Yeah.
There's a lady who was a president. I don't know which country is this. An Asian country. They pushed her out of power just the other day. They marched to parliament and to State House.
But
so you can't talk about a coup.
Ruto has bought the Nini. Ruto has bought the Singenge.
These guys don't care about Singenge. These guys will carry the Singenge and go home with it. Yeah?
All right, people of the internet. These guys are... I loved it.
Thank you.
It was incisive. It was articulate. I loved it. People of the internet, thank you very much for joining me here on Political Headache. I am hoping that you can subscribe, please. And tell us what you think about 2027. Until another episode, bye for now. Thank you. All right, very nice.